Something very strange is happening in these places in Revelation. When it comes to terrifying tales, the deadliest stories from the book of Revelations must be at the top of the list. This biblical narrative contains apocalyptic visions and terrifying warnings that have captivated readers for years. If you're in the mood for some terrifying stories, look no further. From apocalyptic fights to frightening cinematography, Revelations is a masterwork in fear-instilling content. This book does not hold back when it comes to recounting scary stories. Let's go and investigate it. Number 1. Angels will blow 7 trumpets, each with a terrifying consequence. According to the book of Revelation, the end of days will occur after a tremendous earthquake has displaced all islands and mountains, forcing people to seek refuge in caverns. 7 angels will then sound trumpets, each of which will effectively summon all forms of physical hell. First, hail and fire, combined with blood for good measure, will fall on the ground, destroying trees and grass in their path. Then something resembling a burning mountain will collapse into the sea, converting sea animals to blood and destroying much of the sea life and ships. Then a star dubbed Wormwood will descend from the sky, contaminating 1/3 of all rivers and water. Fun fact, some people associate this with tragedies such as Chernobyl. The 4th trumpet will strike out light from the sun and stars, and an eagle will cry out in warning of the upcoming trumpet blasts. The 5th trumpet is one of the worst. It heralds a falling star, bringing the plague of demonic locusts to punish non-believers. The 6th unleashes 4 angels, who in turn unleash 200 million horsemen to slay 1/3 of humanity with plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur from their lips. Their horses have lion heads and snake tails, and they help to kill humans. Finally, the 7th trumpet introduces what makes the preceding harm appear like child's play: 7 bowls. Number 2. 7 bowls that appear to be offerings will unleash lethal plagues. If the 7 trumpets were frightening, then the 7 bowls are even scarier. While the trumpets are viewed as warnings or occurrences from which one can recover via atonement, the 7 bowls are more final. There is no way to recover from these heinous acts. When angels pour 7 bowls or vials upon the ground, they will not be the offerings they appear to be. Instead, they will be infested with illnesses that devour almost everything and everyone left standing after the first round of trumpet devastation. The repercussions include gushing sores on individuals who bear the beast's mark, the seas and remaining rivers turning to blood, killing all sea life, and a gigantic heatwave burning the land and causing people to combust on the spot. Next comes darkness, and the Euphrates River dries up, allowing world monarchs to cross and combat. Finally, the final bowl causes a tremendous earthquake, yep, another one, as stated in the book. Then there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a violent earthquake. There has never been an earthquake like that since mankind has existed on Earth. The quake was huge. The vast metropolis was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations crumbled. God recalled Babylon the Great and poured her a cup full of the wine of his anger. Historically, Babylon was frequently regarded as a symbol for Rome, and giving the city a cup of God's wrath and fury was a politically symbolic depiction of the Christian church's conflict with the Roman Empire. Number 3. There was a specific apocalyptic literary genre at the time it was written. It's crucial to remember that, no matter how dismal and terrible a book of Revelation aims to be, it was written during a period in history when a particular kind of apocalyptic literature was prevalent. This is related to the fact that ancient readers differ greatly from modern readers. Remember that most people in biblical times were illiterate, and those who could read and write such materials were typically involved in some form of political or religious agenda. Keeping this in mind, it is important to recognize that horrific iconography, such as animals, angels, and even recurring numbers, frequently had very explicable roots and topics that individuals involved in the aforementioned agendas would reference and comprehend. In other words, things that may seem completely absurd to us now, such as plagues being poured on the earth by fallen angels and dragons with the voices of lambs, were understood metaphorically by people who interpreted and chose which scriptures would be included in the New Testament. Number 4. The whore of Babylon will ride in on her beast, drunk with the blood of saints and martyrs. After the heavens have practically mowed down earth to punish those who have strayed from Christ, the survivors will be visited by the whore of Babylon, who will ride in on a scarlet beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. She will drink from the blood of slaughtered saints and martyrs, and according to the author's prophetic vision, she will have Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes, and the abominations of the earth engraved on her forehead. The angel tells our prophet that the 7 heads indicate 7 hills on which kings sit, while the 10 horns represent 10 more kings to come. He goes on to say that these kingdoms will fight against the Lamb, God, but God will win. This is perhaps one of the most overtly political passages in the book of Revelation, as scholars widely agree that the whore of Babylon represents Rome. The 7 hills represent Rome. and the heads representing the 10 kings represent the Roman emperors seeking to divert worship away from Christianity. Number 5. An angel of death will send a swarm of freaky locusts to terrorize any man who lacks the sign of God. The plague of locusts begins with the sound of the 5th trumpet. An angel carrying the key to the abyss will fall to earth. When the abyss is opened, it will emit enough smoke to darken the sun and unleash a swarm of locusts. It is thought that the locusts are released by Abaddon, God's chosen angel of death. These aren't ordinary locusts either. The book describes the author's vision, saying the locusts looked like horses ready for battle. They wore gold crowns on their heads and had human-like faces. Their hair looked like women's hair, and their fangs were like lions' teeth. They are not allowed to destroy the earth. They are ordered to torment anyone who does not bear the sign of God on their foreheads for a short 5 months. Number 6. The apocalypse begins with a massive earthquake that turns the sun black and splits the sky. In the book of Revelation, a scroll is shown to the prophet, our author, John, which contains 7 seals. As each seal is broken, something happens or appears, and on the 6th seal, things begin to go wrong quickly. As written in 6:12-17, there was a great earthquake. The sun became black as sackcloth made of goat hair, the entire moon turned blood crimson, and the stars in the sky fell to earth. The sky withdrew like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was gone from its positions. Because the sky will be dark and essentially split open, and who knows what will happen next, humans will be compelled to flee into mountain caverns and crevices to hide. When the 7th seal is broken, the sky will go silent for half an hour, followed by the dreadful trumpets. Number 7. A pregnant woman will fight a dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. At one point in Revelation, a pregnant woman dressed in white emerges in the sky. However, before she has her kid, a gigantic red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns will appear in the heavens, attempting to steal her unborn child. According to the author's prophetic vision, there will be a back-and-forth struggle between the dragon, a symbol and messenger of Satan, and the woman, who will be protected by the Lamb, also known as God. When seen allegorically, it is fundamentally a story of good versus evil. Historically, the dragon and the forces of evil can be compared to the Roman Empire and their attempts to persecute Christian worshippers, with the good of the Lamb triumphing in this instance. However, the author warns that the dragon will always be at odds with the Lamb, meaning that Christians will always be at risk of fighting those who disagree with their ideas. If you found this story eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights and updates. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video.